Jalen Milroe is heading into the NFL draft after the Senior Bowl. We're going to talk about what this guy is looking at as far as his draft status goes, how the Senior Bowl was. Actually, he was down there. It's pretty cool to finally get a chance to check that out. Jake's been part of many of those. We'll talk a little bit of hoops and some Super Bowl stuff right here on Elephant in the Room. Let's get this party started, guys. Roll Tide. And your music's playing, and I know you're ready to go. That's Jake Cochran. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging out with us. Elephant in the Room on Cover Crimson. Like, subscribe, thumbs up. So the Senior Bowl, I went to the Senior Bowl. I got a chance to see the Senior Bowl up front and personal. It was pretty cool.
Did you talk to Jalen while you were there?
I did for a couple minutes. Yeah.
You remind him of the mullet toss?
No, I didn't. You know what, man? I didn't have like I was more of a contingent with him. I did talk to Riley Leonard, the Notre Dame quarterback, but yeah, it was a good event, man. Like I got to give those guys credit. It was a lot of fun. Like it was a much better.
The Senior Bowl at South Alabama been a complete and total game changer. It used to be at Ladd. I think we talked about this Friday, but man, them moving it to South Alabama. That is a great venue for that event. Just kind of small and homey. People get to get somewhat of intimate experiences with players. It's pretty cool. And then I love going because you just see so many people that you used to play with, who used to coach you. It's hard to beat. Yeah.
I got a chance to see our friend Roger Schultz, who was on our podcast, on this podcast right here. So you got to come back and do some more. There you go. I got a little video of Jalen Milroe.
How'd he play?
Terrible. Really, it was bad. But I don't take this seriously, man.
You mean like the week of practice? See, this is the first Senior Bowl I hadn't been able to go to, and
his practice wasn't good and the game wasn't good. But I don't know. Mel Kiper, the draft experts, a lot of what. There's 2 or 3 quarterbacks that are ahead of him, and then it really just depends on what the scouts are looking at and going, what they want, right?
Yeah, what do we need,
right? And what they value and what they don't value or whatever. But he got sacked. Didn't complete many passes, and it was kind of. But it's a practice to me.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know when. When Jalen Hurts came out of Alabama or out of Oklahoma, people didn't see him as this, pocket passer, gunslinger kind of guy. But what separates Jalen Hurts is his mentality and his intangibles. The guys, and to me, that's the best. That is the best compliment you can give a quarterback is somebody who can come out there, lead their team, find a way to win. And don't get me wrong, Jalen Hurts is really talented. But when you look at pocket passers, and when I got to the NFL or when I got to the Cardinals, and I saw Carson Palmer work in the pocket. I'd been around E.J. Manuel, been around Jameis Winston, been around some guys who went in the first round. And, of course, I'm seeing Carson Palmer after being in the NFL for, 10, 15 years. Those guys just move differently in the pocket. He's just so precise with his footwork, his touch, his accuracy. It was crazy. It was just like watching a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
Just reading the defense, processing information quickly, and just putting balls in the perfect spot. It literally was like watching art.
Yeah, right.
It was crazy. And those guys, just the way they operate in the pocket's so just different. I think Jalen Milroe is going to be kind of similar, very, very physically gifted. You just don't know if the pocket awareness is quite there yet. And if he can have time to build on that, again, over a few years, I think he's going to be really good. All these guys that go to the NFL obviously all have talent. A lot of it is opportunity based and how much that organization believes in you and invests in you. If he gets time and a few years to learn everything, he's got a coach who walks him through, the processes and the offense. I think he's got a chance. I think he is going to need a little time, but you've met him. I've met him. I think Jalen's a great guy. He's got a really good personality. I think a good heart. So I think whichever organization takes him is going to be happy with what they get, and a guy that's really going to help build a locker room if you give him a chance.
Yeah, he's a wild card in the draft. I mean, we don't know where he's going to go. I mean,
I don't think anybody does. It's kind of that, like you said, it's kind of if an NFL team could really like him a lot, take him early, or they could pass till later on and get a steal later on in the draft.
Right. It's pretty interesting. Tyler Booker wasn't in the game, but, he's going to be a top 15 pick, projected anyway. Malachi Moore was coming off surgery. He was down there, but didn't play. Talked to Tim Smith, really good guy.
Yeah.
A defensive guy. We don't know if he's going to get drafted or not, but he'll end up playing somewhere. If he doesn't get drafted, he'll end up somewhere. I talked to James Burnap from Australia, the punter, good guy, fun to talk to, and then CJ Dupree. The Maryland Alabama guy, and I like that.
Yeah. I was at the welcome party on Monday, and of course it's different now than it was back when I was playing.
You bought shots for everybody?
Well,
Come here, boys.
Back then when they had that party,
line up them screwballs.
Back when they had it when I was there, I mean, you mingled with the people at the at the party and talked to everyone. It was a little more personable, but they had all the players came out, and of course it's in Mobile, so all the Alabama guys from each position group introduced themselves and talked a little bit. Jalen gave the old "Roll Tide."
Yeah, how he says it.
The whole place.
Yeah, the guy takes so much heat, man. He did, but I was talking to our friend Christian Miller. I was telling him.
Oh yeah.
The quarterback position at Alabama is a position where you take a lot of heat. It's just the way that it is,
Well, the standard is now is that you win a national championship. And if you don't, then you suck.
Look, I get that, but man, since our friend Spencer Pennington played quarterback, he got heat. Like everybody that plays that position got heat. It gets a heat position, man. I mean, I'm trying to go back in my mind to when I got to school. Freddie Kitchen was the quarterback, and he got heat.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like it's a tough position. Everybody loves you, and everybody hates you at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
you played it.
Oh yeah, I think it's people can get carried away. That's for sure. But I think also at Alabama, I mean, you got to understand that people are into football. I mean, this is it in Alabama. It's just like me growing up. Alabama football was it, and people take it very seriously. But at the same time, I mean, when I go out and people do recognize me, we talk about Alabama football. I mean, you never hear that negativity.
Not anymore. You won a championship. Your last game was confetti.
But
you had one of the most iconic.
You know what I mean, though. I know people that see Jalen in person are going to give him a lot of love because he's carried himself the right way at Alabama.
You had like the storybook finish too. Like that. Not only did you get the championship, but you were so happy that you won the championship. Like you were living the dream. Like everybody was crying with you. Like they're like that guy. All the heat you might have taken when that happened. Everybody's loved you ever since. I mean, seriously, like you really walked off the field.
It was a weight lifted off my shoulders for sure. There's no doubt about it.
I mean, I'm not even messing with you. I'm being serious. Like that was one of those moments where people like me that love Alabama and people like you that love Alabama, you see that moment that we shared with you. You can't have a bet. I don't remember, and I've been around for some championships, and I know I've met some of you guys. Jay Barker's a friend of mine. We've met other guys, but I don't remember anyone that like kind of exemplified the way that we feel as fans than you did when you're leaving. So I guess you don't really take the heat, you know. Everybody considers you like they love some Jake Cochran. I read the fan mail, you know. Like when I get on you too hard on here, people come at me hard.
I appreciate they got my back.
I'm never really mean. Your dad wants to come on. He wants to come to our studio. Obviously, we're not in the studio.
I told Dad, I said, hey, you got to come on next week. He goes, I don't know if I should do that. He's like,
yes, you should.
I'll say too much.
No,
That's not a good idea.
Over here. He's right up the street from me. Guys, first off, show's brought to you by mybookie.ag. Use that promo code next round, double your initial deposit. Super Bowl 59's coming up, and Jake and I are over here at Pearl River for some other business. We decided to knock this one out too. And we appreciate everybody here for making this a fun stay. But roll tide, I guess the Super Bowl 59, it has a Bama flair. But the Bama flair is not on the Chiefs side. It's on the Eagles side.
That's why we're going heavy on the Eagles Sunday. We're
going hard with them. Okay,
I got a question for you.
Well, can I run through the list? Real quick for you? I just want to make sure that we hit all of the Bama guys that are on the Eagles and none that are on the Chiefs, right? Jalen Hurts, obviously. You got Devontae Smith, right? You got Landon Dickerson. I'm still looking for my graphic here. Cameron Latu. I loved Cameron Latu. You remember him?
Oh, yeah. Big physical tight end. Played linebacker out of high school, right?
Yeah. Byron Young. You remember him? Not Bryce Young. Byron Young. Tyler Steen. Remember him?
How old is he?
I don't know. Like I'm looking at a graphic here, man. Like
There's been a couple Steens at Alabama.
This is like I think Alabama put this out. And then Eli Ricks. So that's 7 guys.
Yeah.
7 guys and Jalen. I feel like for Jalen Hurts.
Those are all. Yeah. What am I thinking? I was like, those are all Saban era guys. I forget. Last year was his first year being on. It feels like forever ago now.
Yeah. I remember when Ryan Anderson said he's going to feel like those Bear Bryant guys now. But if Hurts has never won the big game, you know what I'm saying? Like he didn't win the national championship at Alabama. He didn't win the Super Bowl. He's been so close though. I mean, he did get to the Super Bowl twice now.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, you can't take that away from him. So he's won NFC championships. Obviously, Tua replaced him in the second half of the 2017 championship game. It was 2018, but 2017 season. This would be monumental, though. And it's not just on him, but the Chiefs, I don't know if you've seen this, this is their 3rd straight Super Bowl. And the officials are on their side, and they have Taylor Swift.
I think Taylor Swift and the officials go hand in hand.
The spread's a 1.5 points. I mean, I feel like the easy money here is take the Chiefs.
That's why you go with the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. If it's not for Patrick Mahomes, Jalen's probably got one. Brock Purdy's probably got one. Then who else did they beat 3 years ago?
They beat the 49ers twice and the Eagles once.
Yeah.
Right? Is that the 3? Yeah, because they won 2 in a row and 1 before that. I'm going to a Super Bowl party, and every time I've been there to this guy's Super Bowl party, my man Boyd, the Octagon House right across from the Floribama.
The Chiefs win.
The Chiefs are in it. Like, yeah, every time. Like, and I think since I've been going, the Chiefs have been in every single one of them. So the year they weren't in there.
I say that. I say Brock and Jalen would have had one. Josh Allen, man. I mean, he's the one who's taken a beating from Patrick Mahomes more than anybody. I mean, the guy plays lights out every year in the conference championship and ends up, just losing by a point or two. That's usually the Super Bowl is that game, the Chiefs Bills.
Oh yeah. Hey, listen. You know what? I forgot that. So the Chiefs in 2020 beat San Francisco. Then the next year, Tom Brady beat them. Remember? 31-9. That was in Raymond James. It's hard to believe Tom Brady's not playing football anymore. And then the next year, the Rams beat the Bengals 23-20, and then it's been the Chiefs, Phillies, Chiefs, San Francisco again, and now Chiefs, Phillies again.
Chiefs, Phillies?
Well, Philadelphia. Eagles. It's in New Orleans too. That's the sporting event I would love to go to. I don't know if I'll ever go to a Super Bowl. I've been to the World Series, been to the National Championship, basketball, football a bunch of times, Final Four.
Yeah.
But Super Bowl's a tough ticket, man. If you don't have Ryan Griffith type money, man, you don't go. You got to be big time.
You got to find a way to own a casino.
Yeah. You got to have a code name named like Wesley to be able to get into a game like that. I'd love to go though, man. But the Super Bowl, the Ravens were in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. What year was that? I just want to get the year right. It was against the 49ers, 2013. You could have got in for like $600-700. Now the tickets are like $2,000. $3,000, and that's, for people like you, Coker, that's easy money. For me, that's a lot of money for a ticket.
I guess that's what, just corporate seating, buying up blocks, and
well, what was happening was that the ticket was valued that high, right? And then people would buy them for like $600 or whatever the ticket value was, and then sell them for like $3,000, and so they just finally were like, we're just going to make the tickets $3,000.
Yeah,
or whatever. But it's I like the matchup. I would have much rather seen the Bills with Josh Allen. I
want to see Josh Allen win one. I mean, that dude plays hard, plays it like it should be played.
Right, ripping it, gripping and ripping.
Not that Patrick Mahomes doesn't, but it 3 Super Bowls in a row.
Yeah,
like to see somebody change it up a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, it's like when you look through Super Bowl history, first Super Bowl was Green Bay against Kansas City, and that was January 15th, 1967. And then the next one was Green Bay against Oakland, okay, January 14th, 1968. There was a Bama guy that played in both of those games.
Stabler?
Nope. Well, Stabler played, I'm sure, Super Bowl II, but his name was Bart Starr. He was the Green Bay quarterback, and he was an Alabama guy, and he won both of those Super Bowls. But he was also, for me, he was the first interview I ever did, big interview I ever did at on college radio at Alabama.
What did you ask him?
Asked him about the Ice Bowl, stupid questions, terrible accent, awful interview, but he did it.
Is that when you interviewed him? 67?
No, it wasn't 67. It was like in 2000. Thanks, buddy. The funny thing is, like, you say stuff like that, and everybody's looking at me, and they think we're the same age. So, like, oh, Mick must have gone into the time machine.
Hey, don't insult our viewers like that.
Yeah,
they can all see.
No, I get in the comment section, and everybody wants to ask me about my dad, and I'm like, well, football ages you. That's what, guys. I'm just kidding. Oh man. So anyway, Super Bowl plans. I'm sure you got big Super Bowl plans. Big party. Gonna watch the game.
I've never really gotten big into the Super Bowl parties. I think we talked about this before. I just concussion. No, I mean, I'll catch it. Here's one. I wish the Super Bowl.
Oh boy!
And you're gonna hate this. You're gonna hate this, and you're gonna. I mean,
this is gonna be one of those things that a lot of us will be talking about when you're not around. But go ahead and finish.
The Super Bowl should be played on Saturday.
I'm not opposed to that, or make Monday a federal holiday.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give some people some wiggle room here.
Yeah.
Sunday's just a terrible day.
Yeah.
Nobody can plan for a Sunday unless you plan on spending your weekend at home.
Yeah, right.
Or taking a vacation.
Well, you're right. I mean, the Super Bowl is going to kick off at like 6:37, and then they're going to have the big halftime show, and then the game's going to be over at 10. And you're going to, by that time, like how many beers have you had? You're doing shots every time they score. You go down to Laurel, Mississippi, where I'm talking about throw down. You're not going to be able to go to work on Monday. I mean, forget about that. So I get it. And we have long called for this country to make a stand and say the Monday after the Super Bowl is a federal holiday.
I mean, it should be.
Yeah, or at least half a day.
It's the same with the college football national championship. I mean, 2 years ago, they played at 8:00 on a Monday.
Yeah, I don't get that. I'm with you on that. Best halftime show that you remember?
Best national anthem.
This is easy. The best national anthem was Whitney Houston.
Nah.
When the Giants played
I wasn't really alive for that.
The Giants played the Bills right after something called 9/11, or no, it was the war. Maybe it was not 9/11. It was the war, the Gulf War. Whitney Houston came in, and let me tell you something. They still use that recording.
So that was in 02 or 01, whatever. I guess.
I'll tell you when that was. Hold on. No, it was
had to have been 02.
That was in the 90s. It wasn't.
I thought you said it was after 9/11.
It wasn't. It was the Gulf War. Let's see here. It was January 27th, 1991.
Well, my favorite was
I hate even reading that.
Chris Stapleton. It was 1991. Yeah, it was a Gulf War. So yeah, I wasn't even alive.
20-19, the Giants beat the Bills.
Yeah, I wasn't even alive for that.
Okay. Well, thanks for telling me.
Yeah.
Thanks, pal. It was a hell of a Super Bowl.
But Chris Stapleton, the national anthem, where the Eagles coach was crying.
Yeah. I think that that Prince was a hell of a halftime performance. I thought Paul McCartney did a great job. I liked the one that had like Snoop Dogg and all the guys.
Yeah,
it was pretty good. So I mean, I'm
Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake.
I didn't like that. Now I did like there was a. I know. Look at Wesley. Yeah, a boob popped out. Okay, I saw that.
Are there live comments?
Look at him. It was like pop, and everybody was like, that was really. I mean, people had the technology to slow it down, but it's not like it is now. But I like most of the halftime shows. Yeah.
I
mean, Super Bowl halftime. Let's see if I can find Super Bowl halftime. Because I'm going to tell you right now.
What year was the Creed one?
I don't know yet. I'm looking right now.
Because Ryan's over here.
Is this where you start talking about Smashing Pumpkins and
Bill Burr?
And Bill Burr. All right, let me get to the good stuff here. Doug Kershaw, there you go. That's one of your guys. Some of these, like, they didn't really care about it until, because what happened was people
would didn't care about it until Michael Jackson showed up for Super Bowl 37.
It probably was. They were losing people at halftime to some other stuff. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. When the New Kids on the Block performed with Disney characters, January 27th, 91, people like Ryan were fired up about that. Michael Jackson, you're right. Michael Jackson in 93.
Oh, Clint Black.
There you go. This is right
Travis
up your alley.
Tritt.
Oh, man. Whoa. Patti LaBelle.
Take me back.
And Tony Bennett. That would have been good.
Diana Ross.
Not bad. The Blues Brothers. ZZ Top. Well, Boys to Men. I saw Boys to Men here at the casino with the late, great, big, sexy Elmo. Yeah, we sang along like a bunch of little girls to every song. We love Boys to Men. Smokey Robinson. What year was that? 98. Queen Latifah. Gloria Estefan, 99. Phil Collins. You're a Phil Collins guy.
That'd have been pretty good.
2000.
Stevie Wonder. I saw that on there.
Aerosmith, 01. U2, 02. Oh, Shania Twain. And who's bed have your boots been under? Janet Jackson.
And P. Diddy.
Is that P. Diddy? Is that the guy that's in jail?
It's weird seeing that now, honestly.
Yeah, that was 04. Paul McCartney, 05. Rolling Stones, 06. Prince.
Tom Petty.
2007. Yeah, Tom Petty, 08. That was good. Bruce Springsteen, 09. That was really good. Usher, 2011. Oh, The Who, 2010. That was cool. Madonna, pass. Destiny's Child and Beyonce, 2013. I don't mind them. Bruno Mars. I was out in Vegas and Bruno Mars had a residency. That dude's huge, man. You talk about a bunch of, like a catalog. But he was there with the Red Hot Chili Peppers, 14. 15, we had Lenny Kravitz, Missy Elliott, Katy Perry, Coldplay. I love Coldplay.
My wife loves Coldplay.
Yeah. Lady Gaga, 2017. Justin Timberlake, 2018. Maroon 5, 2019. Shakira, Jennifer Lopez, 2020. Bad Bunny is part of that. The Weeknd. Okay. And here's the one. Here's the one I liked. 22 is Dr. Dre. You know, have you heard of him? He's not a real doctor. He's a DJ. Snoop Dogg, Eminem, and I'm not talking about the candy, the rapper, and Mary J. Blige. I'm just kidding. 50 Cent. Rihanna, 23. Usher, 24. And this year, it's going to be Kendrick Lamar. Okay, what do you think? You don't want to say, he doesn't want to say anything because he's going, he's looking at it and he's going, okay, so you're telling me that they had this without Toby Keith?
Now
he's dead now. We can't have him.
Yeah. In 2002, Toby Keith would have been off the charts.
That would have been great. So who would you, if it was the Jake Coker halftime show, throw it together, and it's got to be people that are alive.
I mean, if you're doing country now, the most popular
Jelly Roll.
Well, he would probably be him and Morgan Wallen. I mean, if you're
that'd be good. Yeah. Chris Stapleton.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to get as big an audience for the halftime show.
Jason Aldean.
Not anymore.
Luke Bryan.
No.
Cole Swindell.
Definitely not.
That's an insult. I love Cole Swindell.
I do too, but
Cole, if you see this, man, it's he said. You never know. Somebody might send that to
That's
Cole.
not going to draw eyeballs.
Yes, it will.
You think so?
Yeah. If it was like
I feel like
modern country, All right, Willie Nelson.
That would be awesome.
Willie, Hank, and John Daly. Kid Rock. And Kid Rock. You want Kid Rock out there. I can't even tell you guys what I want to say right now. You guys get in the comment section. Tell Jake what you'd like to see at the halftime.
And I like Cole Swindell. Just,
you better, because he might be watching. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Jake Coker Super Bowl halftime show. Come on out, Kid Rock. Strippers. Woo! Here's Hank Jr.
Nick's having a good time, isn't he?
Are you ready for some football? Did you ever see the SNL Chris Farley skit where he pretends that he's Hank Jr. recording you ready for some the Monday Night Football song?
I feel like I've seen it, but I don't remember the details of it.
Out, he's got the Hank set up, and he keeps telling the guy behind the window to call him Bo Cephas. Hey, you can call me Bo Cephas. Are you ready for some football? It's going to be. He's not telling you that he's not watching the game, though. He's going hunting.
That's true.
Can't you
I'll catch some of it.
Can't you just spare some deer for a day of foot? You're a footballer.
Oh man,
your life has been dedicated to this right here. You're known for this.
Yeah, still need some time off.
You're known for this, not for hunting, not for fishing. You're not for country music.
It's hard to beat. You see, but you've hunted before, but
I have.
You've hunted out of blinds. You hadn't really gotten a climber.
Yes, I have. I used to own a climber, and you know what? It was a good investment because when I left college, I sold that climber, and for about the same money I bought it for. It's a pretty good climber.
Because it wasn't used very much?
No, it was just because somebody bought it for that. It was used a lot. I love that thing.
I hear you.
Climb up to that tree, get up there. But my problem is I always want to go a little higher.
Oh, I get high.
You know what I mean?
I get up there.
You're like, I think I can go a little bit higher. I think, and then all of a sudden,
I like getting so high that deer think it's unrealistic to have to look up.
Yeah,
high enough to see me. Like, there's no way somebody's up there.
They're like, I smell feet, but I don't. my brain.
Something's not checking out here.
Yeah. No, that's not the deer waving the nose. That's his tail. Oh man. Well, good luck to you on Sunday. I'm going to be.
I'll be riding with the Eagles.
Yeah. You'll be in the tree with the Eagles.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, let's talk a little hoops before we bust out of here. Bama basketball up to number 3. I feel like, they were number 1 before, but I feel like this number 3 is a number 3 where they've legitimately just kept climbing.
Oh yeah.
Well,
I think I love the fact that we're not the most flashy team in the country.
Right.
Got a lot of talent, and like you and I have talked about in the past, depth maybe unlike anybody else in the country. I mean, you can throw guys in and out. Aiden Sherrill had a good game Saturday.
Right.
A face that we hadn't seen a ton of so far. Really, when you plug in, you can alternate, I feel like, all 5 guys out here and there, and you really don't lose much.
Right.
Nobody shows up out there where you're like, oh, man, this is going to be trouble. I've thoroughly enjoyed watching every team under Nate Oates since he got here. But at times some guys would go in and you'd be like, oh man, we might have a few turnovers here.
Quinterly.
Get away.
You mean like Quinterly? Like, it was a good player, but a lot of turnovers with Quinterly.
Yeah, Quinterly won games though. He'd win games and he'd lose games. You just never knew. He is still one of my favorite players to play at Alabama.
You loved him
in recent memory, but he just played so hard, nonstop.
Right. I'm not putting him down. I'm just saying that it could be frustrating.
Give him the old Cole Swindell treatment, huh?
Yeah, he is. So, when you saw Mark Sears get benched, and his mom was like, kind of shooting off some messages on social media, did that?
I was like, don't do it, don't do it. I get it, but don't do it.
Oh man, I just think it's funny.
I can't imagine. Now I've got 2 kids. I can't imagine what it gets to you. You can't think straight. Mm-hmm. I don't think. And your kid puts that much time and effort and sacrifices, that much time in his body to a sport or to whatever he's doing, and things aren't working out. I'm not saying things aren't working out, but he gets embarrassed on a national stage. That's not something you enjoy. And obviously you're going to have some pretty critical comments or thoughts. And, look, Nate Oates has a standard. It doesn't matter who's on the court, who's playing. I think they're all going to get held to that standard. Cliff and Mark, I don't think he thought he was getting everything he could out of either one of them, and he made that decision. And heck, you look at us this week against Mississippi State, going in there, playing a hostile environment, beating them, and then Saturday, blowout victory against Georgia. They seem to be playing well, and they seem to be getting along, playing solid basketball. So I think it was a good thing he did that, and he sent his message. And I mean, Nate Oates loves Mark Sears.
And we all do.
It's obvious, you know. I mean, he's going to be one of the most notable players ever in Alabama basketball history. I mean, what he did last year, you can't, it's hard to replicate that. We may be able to do it this year because I think this year's team has so much more depth. But it's again, great coaches are going to make decisions like that, and you got to either respect it or jump off the bus. You know, doesn't matter who you are. And I think Mark Sears, I think everybody, from what I hear, everybody loves him, and it's just a learning experience for him.
Yeah. Well, he came back out 36 minutes, helped Bama. And I like the fact that he wasn't playing great, and then the team went a different direction for that game, and they came out and won the game. I mean, that's the most important thing, is winning the game, right? I mean, you want to win the game. And I mean, as much as we all love Mark Sears, he's one player on the team, and if he's not having a great game, somebody else will slide in there and take that spot. But
I think if you got guys with the same mentality that, and it's kind of subtle with Chris Youngblood, but it's very obvious with Mo Diabate. But Chris Youngblood, I don't know how much you paid attention to him this year.
Which guy?
Youngblood.
Oh yeah, Youngblood. Yeah, he's been good.
I mean, he makes shots. He's extremely tough. He kind of flies under the radar, and he doesn't look like he's an all-world athlete just on the floor compared to everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But he's so I don't know, dynamic's not the word, but he's a key player on that team, and he seems to be a fabric guy with a lot of talent.
Right.
I mean, I think he was an All-American last year, but the guy just has a tough mentality, scores points, plays defense, sets the tone. And then Mo Diabate, I mean, that guy, you can't keep him off the floor. If the ball's on the ground or if it's anywhere loose, he's on it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get it, he's close.
He plays for that hard hat, man.
Oh, yeah.
And I think I respect that too. I mean, I love these guys.
Oh, I do too.
Such a fun team.
Well, this is what, to me, this basketball team is kind of like, I mean, it's kind of like that just college sports fan paradise. You got guys playing so hard, wanting to win a national championship, wanting to play for Coach Oates. Looks like they love Alabama. It's just fun to pull for a team like that. And I just can't get enough of it.
Is Coach Oates, who just tied Wimp Sanderson for the most wins against top 15 teams or whatever, is he the greatest Bama coach of all time, or is it still Wimp? I know we had a guy named C.M. Newton who did a really good job. Obviously Wimp, and then and now Nate Oates. Is Nate Oates officially past Wimp, or is he kind of?
I mean, man, we've been to the Final Four once, and I don't know if we've ever had this many consecutive successful seasons with this many wins.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's not like, look, I know Wimp Sanderson right had to be the best Alabama coach of all time prior to Nate Oates, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we still didn't have. I mean, if you had 20 years of Nate Oates like seasons, Alabama would be one of the most premier basketball schools in the country.
Yep.
So yeah, it's hard for me to say that anybody else, that he's not the best Alabama coach of all time. How could you argue against that?
And I don't think that's a knock against Wimp. I just,
No, I don't either.
My first TV basketball broadcast, I was with Wimp on the it was UAB against Southern Miss. And it was Mick Gillispie and Wimp Sanderson.
How's that?
It's fun. Yeah, it's fun.
He's funny.
Yeah, it's good.
I've met him once. He's off the cuff, man. He has a good time.
Yeah, my first one. All right, man. Well, look, we did another show. It's good to see you in person, as always. Not at the home studio, but we'll be back there. We wanted to throw this together, and I guess the final thing we didn't really talk about was Ryan Grubb. We haven't talked about him on the show, and I forgot, but I want to swing back to it. The Tide got their guy, and I feel like this was. I mean, look, if you guys watch this, I've been saying this for a long time now. I have. I'm telling you, I have, because I heard. So, I mean, and it happened. Now, you never know if what you heard is right. But I'm not surprised.
Yeah, you've told me you've heard a lot of things today that
Well, hey, that one's it. Yeah. There's some other stuff. That one's true, too. But I'm not talking about it. Maybe that'll come out one day, but it's not coming out from me.
You'll be the first one I text.
Yeah. You ain't gonna get it from me. No, I just heard like when he was the last couple like weeks in the NFL that whether he wanted to come back or they wanted him to leave, that if he was available, that Alabama, he has a home in Tuscaloosa, and Kalen DeBoer said it at the Senior Bowl. This is his coaching staff. All these guys were part of the coaching staff when he was at Washington and Fresno, and I don't think this is a shot at Nick Sheridan at all. I think it's something that Nick Saban did so well. You get an opportunity to add a difference maker to your coaching staff or to your roster, you do it.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's going to be a demotion for Nick Sheridan, but at the same time, I don't think he can take this too negatively. I mean, I'm sure he does. It is. I mean, that's not an ideal situation. You want to come in, knock it out of the park when you get a promotion and be the guy moving forward. But it's very tough to do that in your first year as an offensive coordinator at a new school, where guys are learning a completely new offense. When a lot of times, like when new coordinators came in to Alabama, I mean, the verbiage stayed the same. They weren't learning a completely new system. So, I mean, you're coming in as a new OC, new system completely. Guys got to learn from scratch. And so, I mean, it's a tough job. But, again, Kalen DeBoer came here with Ryan Grubb. That was his plan.
Right.
He's just implementing that. Look, he's got a year under his belt without Ryan. He's a little more acclimated to the culture down here, the program down here, how the parts move. And now he's got his guy that he came up in the business with and helped make him successful. National championship at Washington with Ryan Grubb. They're starting to get their guys in and build this team the way they want it. You got to go with whatever the head coach thinks is going to put their players in the best position and ultimately put us back in the playoff.
Got some breaking news for you, and I want to get your comment on this. The University of West Alabama has just announced its new head football coach. And you know where that is, Livingston, right?
Mm-hmm.
So our friend Bricken has a hunting camp in Livingston. We know about that.
My dad played baseball there.
Your dad played baseball there. Well, the new head football coach, what are they called? What is West Alabama? What are they
I
called?
think it's the Warriors.
The Warriors?
I want to say.
Well, the new coach of the West Alabama football team, head coach, is Scott Cochran.
No way.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
What do you think of that?
That's awesome.
So what is the Scott Cochran head coaching or head coached team going to look like to you? And are you willing to leave elephant in the room and go join him on his coaching staff?
No, I'll make a few stops in Livingston and say hello.
Can we get him on the podcast?
Yeah, we ought to drive up now. We go up there, go to Bricken's.
Yeah, go to Bricken's.
Make a trip out of it.
Basketball. Bricken told us we could stay there and go to the basketball game.
There you go.
Stay at the compound.
No, that'll be awesome. That's Scott Cochran's a leader. That place will be run like, he'll be putting SEAL teams out there.
Congratulations to him. I know that he had some struggles in his personal life, and he's overcame those. And but everybody loves him. Made that famous. He was on 60 Minutes, then went to Georgia, and he's back, and now he's going to be a head football coach. So best of luck to him. I had to look at that 3 times before I told you, but I knew you'd be happy for him because you love him.
That's awesome. I love it. He's one of my favorite coaches I've ever been around. One of the best people.
I love the story that Shank and Ryan Anderson told us about how they crashed through his drywall wrestling at his house. Do you remember that?
Scott was a character, man.
These guys just wrecked my drywall. There's so much. Everybody's so much more just refined now. You know what I mean? Like, we're not running through anybody's drywall anymore. We'd get hurt.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that? Things hurt different now.
Oh, yeah. Things hurt differently now. Still, not a whole lot's changed either. People just dress up a little better.
Yeah, right.
That animal's still in there.
Well, look, great show. We'll do it again later this week. But thanks again to all of the people here at Pearl River for taking good care of us as they get ready for Super Bowl 59. And you can check us out, covercrimson.com. And, obviously Clint's on there, coaching changes, transfer portal, recruiting news. Bama's coaching staff, they had their first junior day on Saturday. Some real heavy hitters in there, including St. Paul's Tank. And, of course, Cochran's going to try to get him to come to Alabama. Right, Jake?
Oh, yeah, working on it.
Working on it. The Tank.
That's right.
I can see the NIL deal now. Anyway, we're covering all that on covercrimson.com. Make sure that you guys like, subscribe, thumbs up, get in the comments section. And, again, appreciate all of you guys. Did I miss anything?
Nah, roll Tide.